So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you to NOAH for inviting me to speak. I hope it's not too late in the day to capture some of your attention and imagination. My name is Michelle Kennedy, and I'm Director and General Counsel of Badoo. For those of you who don't know Badoo, we're the world's largest network for meeting new people. And just some slides of our product to capture your imagination. But if that hasn't got you, some interesting facts about Badoo. 210 million registered users worldwide. And at the moment, that means that we're exchanging messages or seeing messages exchanged on Badoo at a rate of 2 billion messages per month. 2 billion messages a month. We have around 29 million monthly active users, showing a 9% year-on-year growth. And monthly paying users of about 1.3 million, showing a 26% year-on-year growth. And finally, from a mobile perspective, that means we've got around 19 million monthly active users, a 38% year-on-year growth. And there's some other facts for you to read. So, what was our aim? Our aim was to be the best, easiest, fastest way to meet new people and discover people around you locally and globally. But how? What we had to do is work out and identify what was important to us in terms of success. Firstly, critical mass. Without vast numbers, a product that is focused about location is not going to be successful. So we had to ensure that we had vast numbers of users. Critical mass. The more users, the more interaction, the better the user experience. Monetization. We knew that we wanted to be a company that generated revenue, and therefore we had to establish ways in which users could pay on our freemium model for enhanced features and self-promotion. And finally, virality. How could we get that critical mass? How could we grow and make it so that, as we have today, we were getting 100,000 users per day joining, new users joining. For a bit of context, 100,000 users a day is every person in Cambridge joining Badoo every day, and that's what we have at the moment. So Marco told me that we were going to talk about change today and what effect change had had on our business, and that's a good topic for us. Good topic for any business, actually, in tech, particularly because we're so affected by technological changes, political changes, social changes, but also for Badoo because we have really experienced change in lots of different ways. So I thought it'd be useful to share with you some examples of the ways that we've experienced change. First of all, our product. We weren't actually going to be a product for meeting new people. When we were originally launched back in 2006, we were going to be a Facebook-style product. Okay, so this was to talk with your friends, chat with your friends, share photos. And it was actually our founder who was in a bar who was watching interactions between people meeting new people that inspired him to change and pivot the product, and that leads us to where we are today. A next key area of change for us has been how we deliver our product. So again, back in the launch, we were very focused on a web-based product. And obviously, as technology developed, we saw how many people were using mobile and how important and critical that would be for our product. So now we've changed from having web registrations higher than our mobile registrations to now 85% of our registrations being on mobile. And last year, in July last year, mobile registrations, obviously, that was the turning point for mobile to overtake web registrations. How did we do it? Evaluating the product, making sure that we understood what the key areas of success were on web and how we could transfer that and make it converse on a mobile product on our app. Another key area of change, we were always focused on Badoo as a sole offering. And we know in order to get into other territories, to get new users, to really keep developing and keep increasing our growth, we have to have new offerings. Last year, we relaunched Hot or Not, which some of you may remember from over a decade ago. And we revamped and relaunched. And we have got some other very exciting new projects coming soon. So watch this space for some things that Badoo are about to do. Finally, some other changes. Agility, understanding when process was slowing us down and removing processes in order to remain agile. And employees, changes in employees. Understanding and knowing that actually not everyone that joined Badoo was suited to Badoo. And so having to make those changes and at the same time recognizing who we really needed to retain and making steps and efforts to retain those key employees. What's the flip side to change? Knowing what to keep the same. So I thought I'd also share with you some of the areas that we've identified that we really want to avoid changing. First of all, monetization. We're good at it. We want to stay good at it, and obviously we want to keep growing. As I mentioned before, paying users are increasing 26% year on year, and we've got 1.3 million monthly paying users. So what does that mean? A profitable business, highly profitable, with revenues of around 100 million over the past 3 years, each year. We want to keep it, preserve that, and obviously try and do more. Growth, we want to keep growing, obviously, and that will require some changes, but recognizing what areas worked for us when we were trying to grow. We did the big PR campaigns. They actually didn't work. We were much more successful as an organic viral product based on word of mouth and experience, and we want to keep that way. And a key for us is localization. We might be a global product, but we're a very local global product. We're in 46 languages. And we have billing platforms in over 200 countries. We need to keep that local knowledge. It's what keeps us successful. So that's something that we don't want to change. And finally, our founder. You can't change your founder usually anyway, but we have to learn from him. For him, Badoo and the industry we're in is kind of like riding a bike. So knowing when you have to keep relying on his knowledge and insight into the industry. What still needs to change? Things that we haven't yet done that we know that we need to. Perception. Sometimes, and actually more recently things have become easier, but sometimes people are negative or skeptical about meeting new people online. We need to make this an acceptable thing. Anything that we do offline should be okay to do online too. We're nearly there, but we need to do more. Awareness. We have 210 million registered users, but I'm not sure how many people in this room had heard of Badoo before today. That's because we're not very good at telling people how great we are, and we need to get better. And hopefully with the new offerings and the new products that are coming very shortly, you'll get to be hearing a lot more from us. So a final cheeky slide that I popped in for me, and it's actually nothing to do with Badoo, but just some observations from my point of view that we also need to take the opportunity to look at changing in tech generally. More women, I would say that. I'm a woman standing on stage here. But I don't mean more women for women's sake. I mean particularly in consumer services, businesses using and understanding that it's important to use every member of their team and every member of their company and engaging everyone. Legislation. I'm a lawyer, I can't help it. We should also be helping and encouraging legislation to drive innovation, not stall it. Whether it's from a tax point of view, privacy point of view, advertising and marketing point of view, we really want to encourage innovation, particularly in Europe, and we need to encourage governments and legislators to help us do that. And finally, a bit more noise about the European tech scene. I don't need to preach to everyone here. You already see it and believe in it because we're here. But I think we need to be proud and make even more noise about what great stuff is coming out of Europe at the moment. So that's it from me. Thank you very much, and hopefully you'll hear a bit more about Badoo and the changes we're making soon.